A diamond is just a pencil that got very, very lucky. Same element, same atoms. The only difference is the crushing pressure of the Earth. I'm Mike with List 25, and today we're looking at 25 brilliant facts about diamonds. Stick around because understanding what these stones actually are might completely change how you look at your own jewelry. 25. The 3100 carat diamond. Discovered in South Africa in 1905, the Cullinan diamond is the largest gem quality rough diamond ever dug up. It weighed over 3,100 carats, which makes it about the size of a human fist. Instead of keeping it whole, expert cutters spent months studying the stone before splitting it into several pieces. The largest chunk is now mounted in the sovereign scepter as part of the British crown jewels. To get it safely to England, the mine manager actually mailed the real diamond in an unmarked box, while a decoy shipment guarded by armed detectives sailed across the ocean just to distract thieves. 24. Forged 100 miles underground. Diamonds usually form in a narrow band of the Earth's mantle, about 100 miles beneath the surface. Down there, temperatures hit 2,200 degrees, and the pressure is over 700,000 pounds per square inch. That extreme environment violently squeezes loose carbon atoms into a rigid crystal. Getting that crystal up to a jewelry store requires a deep, violent volcanic eruption that pushes the material upwards so fast the diamond doesn't have time to turn back into regular graphite. That specific type of eruption is incredibly rare, which is why diamond-bearing rock only show up in a handful of spots globally. 23. Just compressed carbon. Strip away all the marketing, and a diamond is chemically the exact same thing as the graphite inside your pencil. Both are pure carbon. The only difference is how those atoms connect. In graphite, carbon atoms form loose sheets that slide across each other easily. That's why your pencil leaves a mark on paper. But in a diamond, those same atoms bond into a rigid 3D pattern called a tetrahedron. It's wild to think the pencil in your desk and the ring on your finger are fundamentally made of the exact same stuff. 22. The hardest natural material. On the Mohs hardness scale, diamonds sit right at the top with a perfect 10. Absolutely nothing found in nature can scratch a diamond except another diamond. That's why diamond tip tools are required to cut and polish other diamonds in the first place. This extreme toughness comes directly from that tight carbon structure forged deep underground. Because of this, diamonds are essential for industrial saw blades and drill bits used all over the world. Without them, a massive chunk of modern manufacturing would basically grind to a halt. Here's something interesting. Most people who try to quit vaping aren't actually addicted to the habit of vaping. They're addicted to reaching for something. And that distinction is exactly why our sponsor for this video, Fume, works differently than everything else out there. Think about the usual options. Patches and gum handle the nicotine side of things, but they still keep you tied to it in some form. Cold turkey skips that entirely and just throws every craving at you at once, hoping willpower alone gets you through. Neither one deals with the actual behavior. The hand-to-mouth motion, the inhale, the little pause you take without even realizing it. That motion gets repeated so many times that your brain starts expecting it automatically, completely separate from the nicotine itself. Fume is built around that behavior, not around the chemical. It's a flavored air device made from real wood and metal. No nicotine, no vapor, no batteries. It's not designed to imitate a vape. It's designed to give your hands and mouth an actual replacement for the motion. Honestly, the build quality is what caught me off guard first. It's got a nice substantial weight in your hand and nothing about it feels flimsy or plastic. And there's something almost satisfying about just twirling it or holding onto it. As for the mint flavor, it's not going for that intense hit you'd get from a vape. It's just enough to leave your breath fresh and give you a light throat sensation, so it still feels like you're getting something without any of the electronics behind it. For a limited time, till September 15th, get 30% off the Good Habit Pack, with everything you need to kick back into gear after summer and get your habits back on track. Plus, use my code LIST at checkout to receive a free gift. Over 1 million people have already used Fume to quit differently. The only question is whether you're ready to take the first step. Remember, addiction is really good at saying later. Don't let it. Head to tryfume.com, that's tryfum.com, to get 30% off the Good Habit Pack. Use code LIST at checkout to receive your free gift. Now, back to the list. After I play with this for a bit. It's really fun. That way too. Okay, now back to the list. 21. Older than complex life. Most diamonds formed between 1 and 3 billion years ago. That means they were already ancient long before the first complex life forms ever appeared in Earth's oceans. Making one requires a highly specific mix of intense heat and crushing pressure acting on carbon over unbelievable stretches of time. Eventually, volcanic eruptions carried these stones toward the surface, trapped inside kimberlite rock. Finding them today basically gives scientists a direct window into what the Earth looked like billions of years ago. 20. India's ancient monopoly. For well over 1,000 years, India was the only known source of natural diamonds anywhere on the planet. Dating back to at least the 4th century BCE, people gathered them straight out of ancient riverbeds in a region called Golconda. Traders then carried these stones into Europe and the Middle East, where they became massive status symbols for royalty. India completely controlled the global supply until the 1700s, when deposits were finally discovered in Brazil and later South Africa. If you ever owned a diamond in the medieval world, it definitely started its life in an Indian river. 19. Super deep diamonds. While most diamonds form, like I said, about 100 miles down, a rare group called super deep diamonds form at depths past 400 miles. That puts them in a completely different layer of the mantle called the transition zone. These deep stones sometimes trap tiny mineral fragments inside them as they grow. When they finally reach the surface, scientists get an incredibly rare sample of material from deep inside the planet that would otherwise be completely impossible to reach. Some of these diamonds even contain evidence of water trapped hundreds of miles below the surface, which totally changes how we understand the planet's interior. 18. Lab grown in days. Nature needs over 1 billion years to make a diamond, but we figured out how to do it in an afternoon. Scientists have successfully created real diamonds by putting carbon under intense pressure and heat inside specialized lab presses. This dramatically speeds up a process that normally takes geological ages to complete. The whole thing fueled a massive boom in the lab-grown diamond industry, which pumps out chemically identical stones without that multi-billion-year wait. What the Earth takes forever to bake, a lab can pull off before the weekend. 17. Not actually that rare. Despite the hype, diamonds aren't actually that rare. Massive deposits exist across multiple continents, and mining companies pull millions of carats out of the ground every single year in places like Russia, Botswana, and Canada. A lot of the scarcity you hear about was entirely manufactured by major companies like De Beers. For decades, they strictly limited how many diamonds hit the open market, specifically to keep prices sky high. The high price tag has way more to do with market control than actual geological rarity. 16. The Cursed Hope Diamond. Weighing over 45 carats, the deep blue Hope Diamond carries one of the most famous curses in history. Legend claims it was stolen from a Hindu statue, dooming every owner after that to financial ruin or a terrible death. Several historical owners really did run into genuine tragedy, which kept the rumor mill going for centuries. Most historians chalk it up to coincidence and good storytelling, but the dramatic history makes it a massive draw at the Smithsonian. And the craziest part is, they shipped it there in a plain brown package through the regular mail. 15. The colors of diamonds. Clear diamonds get all the attention, but natural diamonds come in a massive range of colors like yellow, blue, green, and even pink. These colors happen when trace elements, or tiny structural quirks, get mixed in while the diamond is forming. Blue diamonds get their tint from trace amounts of boron, while yellow ones have nitrogen impurities. The rarest color of all is red, which actually comes from a strange structural twist in the crystal itself rather than a chemical impurity. Fewer than 30 true red diamonds are known to exist anywhere in the world. So I guess, yeah, that one's rare. 14. Pure physics. No magic. That crazy sparkle you see in a jewelry store is just a geometry trick. Diamonds have an extremely high refractive index, meaning light enters the stone, bends dramatically, and bounces around multiple times before shooting back out into your eye. A master cutter angles every single facet specifically to maximize that internal bouncing. That's exactly why two diamonds with the exact same clarity can look completely different based on the cut alone. It's literally just light following the laws of physics inside a perfectly shaped crystal. 13. Diamonds can burn. People think diamonds are indestructible, but they're actually highly flammable. Because they're pure carbon, if you expose a diamond to enough oxygen at around 1500 degrees Fahrenheit, it will catch fire and burn away completely. It leaves behind nothing but carbon dioxide gas. So, a diamond tossed into a severe house fire could theoretically vanish without a trace. Firefighters have documented cases where gold rings survived a blaze, but the diamond simply disappears. And for a long time, nobody understood where it went. 12. Diamonds from space. We've actually found microscopic diamond crystals hidden inside meteorites that crashed down to Earth. These tiny space diamonds likely formed through intense shock pressure during violent cosmic collisions in the early solar system. Some might have even formed inside dying stars before our sun even existed. It gives scientists a truly alien source of diamonds that has nothing to do with the Earth's mantle. Some researchers even think finding these nano-diamonds buried in ancient dirt proves a massive meteor hit the Earth thousands of years ago. 11. The conflict diamond crisis. In the 1990s, the world learned about blood diamonds. Rebel groups in places like Sierra Leone and Angola were mining and selling diamonds to fund brutal civil wars. The public backlash was massive, leading to the creation of the Kimberley process in 2003. That's a certification system designed to track a diamond from the dirt all the way to the display case, keeping conflict stones out of the legal market. It definitely helped, but critics argue there are still massive loopholes where illicit stones get smuggled into legitimate shipments. 10. The 4 C's. The entire diamond industry runs on a standardized grading system called the 4 C's. They stand for carat weight, cut quality, color, and clarity. The Geological Institute of America created this back in the mid-1900s, so everyone had a consistent way to price these things. Out of all 4, the cut quality actually has the biggest impact on how the stone looks to the naked eye. A terrible cut will make a technically perfect diamond look completely dull, which is why the paperwork only tells half the story. 9. Identical lab diamonds. Lab-grown diamonds are created using highly controlled synthesis methods that perfectly mimic the extreme conditions deep inside the Earth. The result is a stone that shares the exact same chemical makeup and physical properties as a mined diamond. They are completely impossible to tell apart with the naked eye. You actually need specialized gemology equipment to see the difference. Because they cost less and skip the environmental damage of mining, they have absolutely exploded in popularity. Honestly, I can't imagine dropping a fortune on a mined stone when the lab version is exactly the same thing. Let me know down in the comments below, if you were buying a ring tomorrow, are you insisting on a mined diamond or taking a massive discount on a lab-grown one? 8. Star splinters and myths. Before anyone understood geology, ancient civilizations came up with some wild explanations for diamonds. The ancient Greeks genuinely believed they were splinters from fallen stars, or the physical tears of the gods. Over in India, they thought lightning strikes hitting the ground turned solid. Because these stones seemed impossibly tough, they quickly became linked to invincibility and divine power. The word diamond actually comes from the Greek word adamas, which translates to unbreakable. Some ancient soldiers even carried them into battle thinking the stones made them bulletproof. 7. Trapped ancient atmosphere. Sometimes a diamond forms around a tiny pocket of liquid or gas, sealing it perfectly inside the crystal. When that happens, it acts like a microscopic time capsule from billions of years ago. By studying these tiny flaws, scientists can actually analyze the chemical makeup of the deep Earth long before complex life existed. It gives geologists a direct physical look at our planet's ancient environment that we literally could not access any other way. 6. Cutting the invisible grain. Even though diamonds are the hardest natural material, they have an internal grain structure just like a piece of wood. If a cutter strikes against that natural grain, the stone can shatter into useless pieces instantly. But if they cut along the grain, a massive jeweler can perfectly split a massive rough diamond with one single, carefully calculated strike. That hidden vulnerability is exactly why professional diamond cutters train for years. One bad hit on $1 million stone, and you just created a pile of really expensive dust. 5. Antarctica's untouched diamonds. Geological surveys confirm there's diamond-bearing rock buried deep beneath the ice in Antarctica. It's similar to the massive deposits found in Africa and Australia, but nobody's going after them. International treaties strictly ban any mineral mining on the continent to protect its untouched environment. So, we have this massive, highly valuable resource just sitting there in the ice, completely off limits. It's one of the only times in history humans found something valuable and collectively agreed to just leave it alone. 4. A diamond planet. Astronomers have been studying a distant planet called 55 Cancri e, and they think it might be packed with so much carbon under such extreme pressure that the planet's interior is basically solid diamond. If the math holds up, we're talking about a scale that's impossible to comprehend. An entire planet made of the stuff. It really highlights how differently basic elements behave under cosmic extremes. If it's true, that single planet is worth more than every diamond ever mined in human history combined. And if you hit it wrong, it's turning into dust. It's a lot of dust. 3. Unstoppable cutting tools. Because nothing in nature is harder, diamond-coated blades and drill bits are used constantly in construction and manufacturing. They easily cut right through materials that would instantly destroy a normal steel blade. But here's the catch. They don't use the expensive natural ones for this. Most industrial diamonds are totally synthetic because lab-grown material is basically cheap to mass produce. The vast majority of the diamonds produced around the world right now go straight to dirty industrial jobs, not jewelry stores. 2. Older than the moon. Researchers have found incredibly rare mineral fragments trapped inside certain ancient diamonds that date back over 4 billion years. That places their creation dangerously close to the exact moment the Earth itself formed. Finding a stone this old is astronomically rare. These diamonds hand scientists the oldest known samples of Earth's crust we can actually touch. It gives us a physical puzzle piece from an era so ancient that literally all other evidence has been wiped off the face of the planet. 1. The De Beers slogan. A diamond is forever isn't just a catchy tagline. When De Beers introduced it in 1947, it completely brainwashed an entire culture. Before this specific ad campaign, diamond engagement rings weren't standard at all. Colored gemstones were just as common, if not more so. But this one marketing push turned diamonds into a mandatory, non-negotiable requirement for proposing marriage. Marketing historians considered it one of the most successful campaigns of the 20th century. And it's the only reason we still spend 2 months' salary on a rock today. To see the dark reality behind how those rocks actually reach the market, click this video on blood diamonds right here. As always, I'm Mike Estrin. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.